Enroute VNAV is a function designed to establish a flight path angle that minimizes power adjustments during descent. You can enter Enroute VNAV with either top of descent or VTO. It uses the target flight path angle and adheres to all database altitude restrictions, whether from the navigation database or manually entered by the pilot. It can be interfaced from the top of descent to the star into the approach transition and join the approach directly. VTO means Start Descent Now. The FMS will use an existing waypoint or one you create for this purpose, and when you enter the information, the FMS creates a flight path angle ahead of the aircraft to allow for an anticipated descent transition in much the same manner that lateral flyby turns are anticipated. Likewise, at the bottom of the descent, it will anticipate level off prior to the waypoint to be at pitch level as it crosses the point if there are no follow-on descent points. It puts the flight path angle up as a glide slope indicator. The target flight path angle is used to set the flight path angle through the approach transition. From the approach activation point, an FPA will be calculated to interface with the Enroute VNAV. Here is the target flight path angle directly below the target vertical speed. The FMS will use this to create optimum crossing altitudes as long as there are no restrictions. The target flight path angle can be adjusted between 0 and 9 degrees, enabling you to choose an angle that is optimal for your descent. Transition to the approach VNAV occurs at the capture fix, based on the flight path angle or the highest crossing altitude if that doesn't work. When you are cleared for a star with published altitude restrictions and told to fly as published or descend via, your FMS can easily create a vertical nav profile. Here we have the transition into Tucson. It uses the flight path angle from the approach chart, which is found in the database that comes from Jeppesen. The flight path angle is extended beyond the capture fix to calculate the altitudes for each waypoint prior to it. If you enter the Los Angeles River to arrival into your flight plan, the FMS will create this profile automatically. And if you connect it to the RNAV procedure for runway 25 left, all of those waypoints and their altitudes will be added into that procedure. And this is what the FMS gives you for a vertical flight path for that particular arrival and approach. Here is a graphical representation of the procedure. With the target flight path angle, the FMS will calculate crossing altitudes in the approach transition that can be used as termination points for Enroute VNAV. These altitudes will be limited by mandatory en route altitudes and altitudes set on the Enroute VNAV page.